Today, we will very quickly look at the pipelines. We'll look at one of GitHub Action and another one of Bitbucket pipeline, and we'll figure things out. We'll look at the documentations and we'll act as if we do not know what to do, and we'll figure it out for the documentation. Okay. So let's go ahead and create a simple Maven project, and then we'll work out from there. I've already gone to Maven in 5 minutes. Copied this command. I've made necessary changes to change the group ID and artifact ID. And I will go to our folder. And we have a repository inside here. So here. This will, I'm not going to explain this again because we've already looked at it in the past. We just create a skeleton Maven project for us. So we are not doing anything interesting in terms of Java. We just want a skeleton project with a hello world Java file in it. And I've already explained it in detail in the past, so I'm not going to go into the details of it. Okay. If I go inside this sample Java, and if I say MDN web date, this also I'm not going to talk about. We've looked at this before. And it says success. So I'd say Maven to package just to validate everything looks good. You guys are able to hear me well, right?
Yeah, little bit lower, but yeah, we are able to.
So, what about it now? Still the same?
Yeah, almost the same. Yeah.
Volume. Okay, anyway, as long as you're able to hear me, it's fine, I believe.
Yeah.
All right. So we verified that we are able to do a Maven field package. That works. Okay. So what we will do really quick is go to Bitbucket. Let's start with Bitbucket first, and then we'll come to GitHub. We will go ahead and create a new project for the file. So the way here okay. Let's do a second. Explain what's happening. The way Bitbucket works is Bitbucket creates a virtual folder, and they call that as project. You can have one or more projects, and under the project, in the given project, you can create one or more repositories. Okay. That's pretty much the hierarchy that it has. Okay. So that's the reason why we're going to go ahead and create a project. Let's call it as my first project. Okay, so let's draw that here so that we can see. At the highest level, what we have is we have something called a property quantity that we have or workspace. That's what we call it. Okay. So you can have as many workspaces as you want.
The repository 1 and 2 is something which users create, right?
Yeah, so it could be right. So in workspaces, there could be as many workspaces as you want. I think it could be workspace number. Okay, for every there's multiple workspaces, and under each of the workspaces, you can have as many projects as you want.
Samir, your voice is completely, very low, and we're not able to hear you clearly. I'm not sure it's from you or it's for everybody else.
One program that is this guy. Are you guys able to play now? Or it's still the same?
Still the same.
Hold on, let's talk about it. You guys able to hear me?
Yeah, it's better now, sir.
I think it's better, but yeah, it's good now.
Is it better?
Yeah.
No,
No.
other people's voice are perfect, but I think your voice is still the same for me at least. Can continue. We'll see. Yeah.
The same now?
Little bit better. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but let's continue. I mean, as long as they're able to hear me out even a little bit, it's fine, I think. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's better.
So we have workspace, we have projects. We can have as many projects as we want again, same way, right? And project 1, project 2, so on and so forth. Okay. So each of the workspaces will have a new project. And under each project, you can have as many repositories as you want. That's what we're doing. So I went to my personal workspace. I'm creating a new project over there for my first project. You can put the description if you want. You can place icon if you want. I think you can drag and drop a JPG and see file. And also create project. So that should create my first project. So basically, my personal workspace, and there I'm creating my first project. And in that first project, I'm going to create sample Java. I'll create a repository in that project. If you don't navigate from here, and let's say you log in for the first time and you see your projects over here, that's my project, my first project. Click on it. As soon as you click on it, you're going to land over the same place that we were earlier. You can either click here, or you can click here and you can say new repository, create repository. And we want to create it under my first project. That's the repository name. That's the project name. The repository name is sample Java, and it's a private repository. The default branch is master. Let's call it master. If you want to leave it as name, you can leave it as name. If you don't leave it as master, you can create it as name. Okay, that's what it is. You want to include a git ignore, you can say yes or you can say no. I would say no. Okay, and there are some advanced settings if you want to add descriptions, allow private folks, what language is it going to be? Let's say it's going to be Java. Okay, create the password. At any point you don't follow something, just stop me. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
going quickly over here because you I've already trained you on Git, so you should have pretty good hands on this. So I'm just trying to take the best benefit of the time and teach you what you've not learned. All right. Git also you've learned. So there's a command. I don't know whether I've shown this to you before, but while I was teaching Git, I told you you'll be learning Git as you move on. Okay. This is one place. It's a new place over here about what we're going to learn about Git. So if I say Git, just to Git, okay, or Git remote -v. It should tell me it's not a Git project because we didn't create it as a Git project, right? We just created it as a Maven shell. It says Git remote, not a Git repository. Okay, that's a perfect case because it's not a Git repository, right? So what it's saying over here is get started quickly. You can either create a README file over here, create a Git file over here, and then it becomes a repository. Or you can say, get your local Git repository on Bitbucket. Switch to your repository directory, wherever you are, you're already there. And just connect your existing repository to Bitbucket. This command is not complete. They have to mature this documentation. Okay. Bitbucket has a lot of gaps, in my opinion. This is one of the gaps. It is not telling you how to make it a Git repository. It's assuming you already have a Git repository. Okay. If I was them, similar to what GitHub does or GitLab does, it will tell you how to create it as a Git repository. So you guys already know how to create a Git repository, so you know the Git init, right? So I'll just click init. Now if I say Git remote -v, I should not see any remote. It is a Git repository, but there's no remote. There's no remote. Okay. What I will do is I will take this remote from here, whatever they have, then I will paste it over here. Okay, now if I say Git remote -v, I should see this over here. Then what it is saying is push it to the remote repository. Git push -c or set upstream and press enter. Master git branch. Origin master should actually go, but if it's not going, unless you guys have given this as a completely wrong statement, that could be it. If not, let's just for the fun of it, right? I will just go back over here. I will move my sample Java to sample Java, let's see, and I will do a git clone. I mean, the above command should work, okay, but it's not working. Let's figure out what's happening. There's another thing. Sometimes we get git clone, sometimes we fail. Start your browser. We got everything out of it. I want to go back into my sample. Doesn't like it. It's fine. We have done a clone, right? Over here. Sample Java. Let's see. Git remote -v. Looks really the same. I'm really not sure why it doesn't want to push it. Technically, it should be able to push it because it's a blank repository. But what we will do is we will copy the data from here and we'll put it here. Okay. You guys are with me so far, right? What we're doing?
Yeah.
And then we'll do git status like we usually do. It says there are 3 items there. Git add dot. Git status confirm. Like okay, added. And then I'll do a git commit -m initial commit. Then do a git push. depending on if this is working, the other one should also work. Unless you guys are able to tell me there's a difference in this. Let's pick this guy up from here. We don't have to really spend time figuring this out, but let's see if we can quickly figure it out. So this is what is working, and I'll bring in the one that is not working. To my eyes, it looks to get the same. The same, right?
Looks same, yeah.
Exactly the same. I'm not sure what's happening, but I think we should not spend time figuring it out. So let's keep it.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. And so I'll go back to sample Java and I'll put that one. I'll keep the other one if we don't need anymore. Okay. So you're able to hear me, right? My voice is still not completely recovered. I know that, but as long as you're able to figure out what I'm saying, you're good.
Yeah, we are able to.
Oh, so now let's go here. We'll put refresh. See what changes we are dropping here. The intent of the pipeline is to do a maven clean package. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to pipeline. Here's where you have to pay attention, okay, because you've never done this before. This is the first time you're looking at it, so you might get lost somewhere. So I'll go to pipeline, it will say you have to enable it. So I'll say create your first pipeline. And over here, it gives us the option. It says Node.js, PHP, Maven, so on and so forth. And you already know what you have to pick up, right? Because you're doing Maven, you pick up Maven. It gives us a sample pipeline over here. I think we can just pick this up and move forward for now, and then we'll modify it, okay? So I'll say commit file. So it should commit a file called Bitbucket pipelines.yaml. So commit file. And the pipeline has started. Okay, so let's click on this little moving wheel and see what's happening. It's trying to do a parallel over here. I'll explain you that concept. Again, I'm not going to be teaching you the whole of pipeline, okay, every nitty-gritty, but we will go through the documentation real quick. I'll try to connect you how this all things works, and then you can figure it out yourself. Right, so this is successful. Let's go ahead and see. Taking Maven minus the verify file form.xml. We did everything it has to do, and it says in by consent it's successful. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do a pull over here to bring in the Bitbucket file and then we'll review what to do with it. All right. So I'll do a code doc to the VS Code over here. Okay. And then I'll go to Bitbucket pipeline and I'll quickly review this. So let's look at it. The first thing over here, right? It says image Maven 3.6.3. We have not looked at Docker yet, so I will skip it. But just briefly, what I'll tell you is everything that runs inside a container. So what this guy is saying is, hey, I want you to bring in the Maven 363 image, and I want you to run this pipeline in that particular image. Okay. The next thing that we come to is pipeline. Okay, that's a standard term, and it's saying default pipeline. Okay. In the default pipeline, what it's saying is there are two parallels. So parallel basically is this. When you look over here, both of the steps were running together. Build step and security stem steps were running together. Okay. If we didn't want it, if we didn't want to run together, we will just go ahead and comment this out. So let's do that for a second and commit this change. And we'll do one little thing at a time so that it becomes easier for you to reflect on what we're doing. So just pay attention. As long as you pay attention and then go back to the video, you should be able to understand. Okay, I'm not going to. Okay, this is another thing. I have a question for you. Target is the generated code. I don't want that code to be committed. What should I do?
Hit ignore.
Let's go to quick ignore. And search for let's keep it there. It is there. Copy this thing from here. And I'll create a quick ignore file. With this photo is there. And then if I say keep status, it should not show me all of this. It should just show me Bitbucket YAML and the git ignore file. Dot git ignore, is that correct?
Yeah, looks correct. Yeah.
Okay, okay, this is because we had already committed this. These guys were
Oh.
already committed. Okay. That's why what I'll have to do is I'll have to delete this first.
And then ambient clean install again.
Status. Dot git. Status, it's nothing. I'll do a maven clean package just to see. Okay, again, so this I could committed. We already have target, nothing. Let's see. Okay, doesn't show. Perfect. Target is here, but it doesn't show that it has been committed. Very good. All right. We've committed this now. Let's go ahead and see what happens to Bitbucket. So let's see if the second pipeline automatically started. Yeah, it started. Right. So as soon as we committed, the pipeline started. And this time it will not be parallel. If you see that the wrapper around it is not there. So this will execute first. After this is successfully completed, this will execute. Okay. Thank you.
Spiru, I can barely hear you now. Like I think you
Yeah,
changed something. Yeah.
No, I was not talking. I was talking to myself.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, so this is a good one. Okay, so anybody who wants to learn more, This is the place that you want to go to. Still, you're not done. I'm going to spend some more time. I want you to look at this one. Okay. And I'll also try to see if I can put this in the description. Okay, so let's quickly go through it. Okay, quickly go through it without spending too much time on this. It talks about some of the nitty-gritties. Okay, so there's global options, there's clone behavior, there's cache service container and export pipeline definitions, Docker image options, pipeline start conditions, parallel steps options, stage options, steps options. So let's go through each one of them real quick if you can. Global options. Okay. In global options, they have Docker, max time, and size. So this is what we're talking about, options, max time, Docker, whether it's true or not, and size. What is the size of the node that you want? That's what you can specify. And how long? I mean, after what time should it time out? That's what it's talking about. If you scroll down a little down over here, Docker max time, it is talking over here, right? The max time option sets the maximum length of time a step can run before timing out. The max time option can be set using both the global option property and on individual pipeline steps. Okay. The default maximum time for pipeline step is 120 minutes, which is 2 hours, right? Which is good time. But if you want to lower it down, you can lower it down using the max time option, specified like this. Or I think we should have given you another one, which will be at the step. It will give you, but you have an option to specify the max time at the step. So here it is. At the step, you can specify the max time. So if you specify at the step, this will override what is specified over here for this step alone. Okay. Any questions on this? I believe if you go to the documentation, you should be able to get more details. So here, I'm quickly walking into it. Okay. I want to show you something really interesting. So git clone behavior. You can specify depth, whether it's enabled or not, LFS, large files, skip SSL verification. So if you come down here, here is where you specify the options that you're talking about. Using clone and enable to only allow git clone on selected steps. And so you can do it on selected step, or you can do it globally like this. If I go down, there is a concept of self-hosted Linux agents, but I will keep it for now. We'll come to it in a minute. For now, just keep it. So I think this is it when it comes to the only 4 items that you can specify. So let's go down. Cache, service container, and export pipeline definitions. Okay, this is when you want to have a database as a service, and then you're able to hear me, right?
We can hear you now.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. I would not want to spend too much time over here on this one. We'll come back to this one. We're going to talk about it right away. Docker image options. This is another good one. You can have like the way you specified over there is a bad latest. So if you want to do anything else, you can do it with this. What I want to look at is I want to look at the branches. Still showing me the default. I don't want that. That's what I'm searching for while I'm going through this. Pipeline, parallel vaccine stage, steps option. Let's say. Okay, so this is the one. I'm going to copy this. They should have possibly given this as one of the first ones to look at. So I will put it up for you using that sheet. So this is just so that when you go through it yourself, right, you know how to navigate through. So this pipeline start condition is a good one. Right now, what you've seen is you've seen default, right? That's the one you've seen. So I'll control click on it just to show you what you see. Right, that's the one you've seen. It's default. What we want to look at is we want to look at branches, which is basically the same one downloaded here. You can specify what you want to do for a given branch. Okay, so that's what we are going to do now. In this pipelines, we have default over here, which is good. Leave it as is, do not change it for now. On the default, I'll call branches. Then I'll say master. And I'll say step. Okay. The name of the step is maven package. I'll talk about caches. Okay, forget about it for now. If you don't want to specify, just leave it out. And the script is MVM to package. Okay. I don't want to do any after script, so I'll leave it out. And that's the only one I'll put. Let's see what we get done.
Are you missing a code or something there, or is it like that?
Oh no, I'm not listening to that.
Okay, yeah.
You guys are able to follow, right? I'm going fast, but you're able to follow, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I want to make some mistakes so that we learn from mistakes. Let's see what happens. There's a YAML syntax error in your Bitbucket pipeline at line 36. Found you could not find expected value. So tell me, what is it?
936.
There's nothing like that. Let me validate, and then I'll copy this back from here. It's not great, okay? Bitbucket pipeline sometimes will disappoint me. It is valid over here. See that? It
Yeah.
doesn't have a problem. But when it comes to this guy, maybe we have committed it wrong. I think this, I remember we didn't commit it, right? When you told me told about the error. No, we have committed
There's a
this.
code
We have committed.
committed there, yeah.
Then what happened to the oh, you see this typo? We didn't save it. And I can add and commit at the same time with a 10. Now it should be good. Let's put the pipeline. Let's wait for the pipeline to start. Didn't look good. Yeah, okay, very good. So far, very clear, right? Guys?
Yes, yeah. The basically the first step was to set up the pipeline, and then second is the branches which you're
Yes.
trying to run the maven clean install on the code which we
Exactly.
attempted. Yeah.
Since we are on the master branch now, this time it just ran basically notice it. Like if I go back to the pipeline, look at the one that was successful earlier. It was running all because there was nothing, it was running the default pipeline. Since
Right.
there was no pipeline specified. But now since we said there's a one with branches master, it identified that you are on a master branch and it ran only this maven package. Okay.
Okay.
If I go to pipeline over here, there's a little tiny thing over here called cache, if you know this.
Mhm.
And since we have enabled cache, I told you, right? Promised you, I'll talk about this. So we said cache is Maven. Again, when you go to documentation, you'd find details about it. There are default caches, and there'll be some caches that are not default, right? Like for example, Maven, NPM, they are defining it. But if there's anything that is not defined, for example, Sonar Cloud, there might not be a default cache like Maven, there might not be a default cache available. At that time, they would talk about how to define your own caches in the definition. So that brings a point we have not talked about definition. The next thing that we'll talk about is definition. Okay. So here cache, if you see, it has cache that. See that empty repository it has cache. If you want to build something and you want to clear the cache, you possibly want to first come clear this cache and then build it. That is what it's called. I don't want cache right now. I wanted to rebuild because I wanted to pull all the latest transitive changes. Okay. Otherwise, it will use the cache which is over here. I can understand. Okay. Before we go there, let's do one more thing. And I don't remember which one I was. Okay. So you can define for pull requests, you can define for tags, you can create a custom manual pipeline. Okay. So custom pipeline is, let's go ahead and do that. I'll explain you why you need it, right? Let's say you want this. Oh, okay, there's one more question one I will go to. Anyway, if I go here, I don't want it, right? I'll stop it because this is not what I want to show you. I want to show you custom. What is custom really doing is if you don't want to run the master, you want to run something very specific. You go to pipeline over here, you pick up your branch, you want it for master branch, and over here it will give you that custom. So let's say, for example, you had a custom to do a sonar sketch, or you had a custom to do run unit test only. Okay, you don't want to do it as part of your main pipeline. When somebody commits it, this is the one that you want to run. But apart from that, you want to run something custom. So you can select custom. There's an error in your Bitbucket pipeline. Your client is required attributes are not set. Find out. So let's do this. I'm going to pick this guy up from here and let's see if the validation is saying what is wrong. Okay, so it is saying this is wrong because there's a hyphen missing. Okay. So if you go back to the documentation here, there's a hyphen over here. I've not added it. That's the problem. Okay. Save it. Commit. Go back to the pipeline. Oh, again, I missed which was. So if I didn't want the pipeline to run in this, right, instead of going and stopping it over here, let's see if it fails, and if it fails, I'll show you. Just before I commit this to my okay. I think it's from here and even if this time it doesn't show any error, I can run it. And this time it is running the custom pipeline. Since we're having both of them over here, I probably could have faulted it custom. Okay. Status, your bit status. And before I commit to this, I'm going to add something over here, special thing called skip CI. Skip CI is a special word. It says do not build. Even though I'm committing it, do not run the pipeline. Okay, so this time, let this get finished. And when I commit and push, I will show you that the pipeline will not run. So I'm committing and pushing now. Okay, and the pipeline should not run. it puts, but the pipeline is not running.
Okay.
So that skip CI is a special keyword. I mean, these are some of the things, right, which will be hidden in the read. In your documentation, you're not going to easily find it. And those are the things that I'm trying to show you. Okay. Most of the other stuff you'll be able to find. Okay. There are a couple more things I want to show you, the definitions and the other things that are not easy to find in the documentation. Other things, if you're interested to go further, you can explore as much as you want. All right, so let's go ahead. So this pipeline did run. So I will go ahead and run the custom pipeline just to show you that the name custom should say.
The first one was the branches pipeline and the second one is the custom one, correct?
Yeah. So first one is the default pipeline. Second one is the branches pipeline only for master. Third
Okay.
one is the custom pipeline. The
And the-
branches and the default pipeline is what gets executed. So if I, example, create a release branch, I don't have a pipeline for release branch over here. Okay. So by default, when you commit changes, this is the pipeline that will run.
Okay.
So that's it. I mean, from a fundamental point of view, this is what Bitbucket pipeline is all about. And if you go to any pipeline for that sake, right, they may have some nitty-gritty. For example, you go to Azure DevOps, you go to GitLab CI, you go to GitHub Actions. They will follow almost similar standards. They might call step as something else. Some, for example, Circle CI might call it or GitHub Actions might call it events, so on and so forth. But in the end, the fundamental concept is still the same. You want to run some script. Okay. There's another fundamental concept which is different over here in Bitbucket pipeline is every step you could specify an image. For example, over here we are saying every step will use maven 3.6.3, but you can always come here and add an image over here. If you wanted this to have a separate different image. If you wanted this step to have a separate image, you could add an image over here. So on and so forth. I'm not a big fan of this fundamental because I think this is a anti-pattern than a good pattern. It's a great pattern if you could run all of the steps in a single container so that you're able to share artifacts very easily. Okay, the sharing of artifacts is another thing that I want to show you real quick because there's always a question, like you execute something in this step. For example, over here in the branches, you execute this, your target folder is created. And now you want to have the next step, which is Docker state. We have not done Docker, but let's assume we want to do Docker over here. Name. Image. Something like that. Okay. And the target folder, the package that is created over here, you want to use that package over here because you want to bundle it in the Docker image. Since we have not learned about Docker image, I don't want to go into the depths of it, but let's just go ahead and commit it because there might be errors over here. So let's go ahead and do that. Services on the caches are not very sure. You see that label package and then there's a create image. Question is, whatever this guy produces, how will this guy do it? Because each one of them is running in a separate container. If they were all running in the same container, they could share easily, right? And that's the reason why in my mind, Bitbucket, what it's doing, they might be solving some problem, but it's an anti-pattern thing. It's not a pattern. So running each step in a separate container adds up to the time. It takes longer time to spin up the container and then run the command inside it. And it doesn't allow you to share the artifacts between these steps very easily. Okay. When you go to Git and GitLab and GitHub, you'll see that they run it in a single container. Unless something has changed recently.
Samir, how do you know that they're running in different containers? I'm sorry, it might be a bad question, but
yeah, I know it is running because we use GitHub, Bitbucket.
okay.
And because I told you every step you can add an image.
Okay.
you can do this.
What I meant to ask you is it something this YAML file is telling us that they are running in different contents, or by experience?
I know by experience.
Yeah, okay.
I know by experience because I told you can add different image over here. You can add an image which is Maven over here. You can add an image which is Docker over here. If they were all running in a single container, that would not be possible.
Possible, okay.
Okay. And then second thing I know about is if it was running in a single container, the artifact that this guy has produced, this guy should be able to use it. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. There's a tag called artifacts.
Is that same in GitHub also, like they're running in different containers? I mean, GitHub Actions.
No. No. Bitbucket. Okay. Right now, before I run this, I want to say something. When I go to this, there's nothing over here. There's only this, right? There's no other tab. I'll commit this right now. This is all easy, okay? That's why I'm going real quick. You just have to go read the right document to solve the problem. Anybody not able to follow so far what I have shown?
Very good.
You see here, there's only build. I should see another tab for artifact over here. Artifacts. This one. And now the target is this. If I download this, right here. Process have sample Java. Say for example, I didn't want any of this. I only wanted this one. How would I do it? What I possibly can do is I can send a name here. What I'm doing target /star. I do target sample hyphen star dot jar. That's what it is, like sample hyphen Java. Hyphen star dot jar. It's because it could be different version if you want to do it. So you know why I'm doing this, right? I don't want all of this. I don't want all of this. I only want the jar file to be exported as artifact. Okay. So that's here. Bhargav, are you following this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You already done all of those tests before?
Yes, I mean, this artifact step, I was not able to do it. But remaining steps, I have done it previously.
Okay. Now if I go to maven-archetypes here, you see this sample Java hyphen star dot jar and like the 1.9 maybe artifact. If I download this and go back over here, and this has been one that was this, but I'm looking at 1057. That's the new one. Open it. Okay. You only have what you need. Okay. And now since it is artifact is shared, you actually can list it over here. Okay, so what we'll do is Docker step, and then I'll also do ls minus lrt target. If I don't do this, and if I try to do ls minus lrt target, I will not see it. But you will trust me because you will not see all the other pieces, right? You will only see this. That's how you know that just because we are doing this, we are able to extract it in the other container. Okay. I will change it. I'll get back over here to pipeline. Wait for the pipeline to start. And this time when it comes to create Docker image, you should be able to see in the target folder only that artifact, not everything, only that artifact. And it's only because of the virtue that we have shared it from earlier steps that it is able to view it over here in this way. It's basically sharing of artifacts. Is it? Okay. So far clear?
Yes, Samir. Yeah.
Okay. I still need one more session to complete this Bitbucket. Okay, because there are a couple of other fundamental concepts like workspace variable, repository variable, deployment variable. And I also have to show you that if you build it and now you want to have stages basically, first we'll have to learn stages that deploy to dev, QA, so on and so forth, right? I want to really complete it. I know Seth wants to learn about GitHub Actions, okay? But Seth, bear with me because once you learn this over here, you'll
Yeah.
be able to relate a lot of concepts from here into GitHub Actions or GitHub CI, or even
Okay.
Circle CI, anything basically, even Azure DevOps.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stop here. Let me stop recording and then give you some opportunity to ask questions.